like a work of art. Love when you leave your mark. I'm undone.
In 2019, started at Amarillo National Bank, and they offered CrossFit classes there, which at the time we weren't a CrossFit affiliate yet. So it was called XFit. So I did
Remember those
XFit
days.
classes, yeah. And after seeing her, I remember her saying something that really stood out in my mind. And I'm probably not going to quote it correctly, but you know what I'm going to say?
I think I have an idea who you're going to say, but you can go ahead and say it
Danielle Brandon all
for
day.
sure. Yeah. Why Danielle? Like, why? What about her do you love?
I love her vibe. Like she is so authentically herself.
Pick up the phone every call. I can turn the crib to a mall. We're too high for climbing. It's a long way down. Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Carter Hall and the host of the Carter Hall podcast. With me today, I have, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Camryn Ansley. I'll just call you Carmen. I don't know why. Camryn Ansley.
A lot of people
Um, Go ahead.
a lot of people call me Carmen.
Camryn Ansley. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Cam. She definitely that threw me into a loop there. So she does a lot of great things here in the Amarillo community. She's does a lot of great things with the Amarillo National Bank, and she's also does a lot of great things with CrossFit 806, where she's an athlete. She competes. She's a competitor. Doing a lot of great things. She's also a mom, which we'll get into. Doing a lot of great things with that. So, nonetheless, Cameron, thank you for being on the show, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So as we were kind of talking earlier, or that I just mentioned, you do a lot of great things with CrossFit. How did you like discover CrossFit in the first place?
Oh gosh. So my mom actually, so I'm from a small town in Oklahoma. Um, and she started doing CrossFit. And so when I would go home, like on the weekends or, just to visit or whatever, I would do CrossFit with her. And I kind
Hmm.
of fell in love with it. But at the time, I was a broke college kid, so I just kind of worked out on my own at WT. And in 2019, started at Amarillo National Bank, and they offered CrossFit classes there, which at the time, we weren't a CrossFit affiliate yet. So it was called XFit. So I
I
did
remember those
XFit
days.
classes, yeah. And then kind of just fell out of it. And then after I had my son, I remember thinking, okay, I need something to challenge me. Like I need something for me. And
Mhm.
so the bank was offering CrossFit 806, and I tried one of the classes. And actually, I was doing pelvic floor therapy with Sarah Rubio,
Oh
Dr.
yeah.
Sarah Rubio at Empower, and she kind of, like pushed me to get into it, and the rest is history. Here I
Oh wow,
am.
that's pretty awesome. So you just off on a whim, you just like you met Sarah and all that, and just going to work at A and B. That's pretty much just how you open the door for you.
Mhm. Yeah, it sure was.
Cool. So just working for, like you said, A and B, and starting out that way back in the XFit days. I remember those days. So
Yeah.
like just for you now, I guess you kind of, at least for me, I work at Tascosa as a teacher's assistant. So I kind of, you build, for at least for me, I don't know about you, but you kind of build like a routine, right? So going to work, you get your CrossFit workout and do all the great things that come with it, right? So for you, can you kind of paint me a picture of like a typical day for you, how you go from the bank to the barbell, so to speak?
Oh my goodness, my weeks are crazy. Um, okay, so I typically go to work at the bank from 8:30 to 5. So my schedule's all over the place. So Mondays, I'll typically do the bank CrossFit class. So go to work at 8:30, go to the lunch CrossFit class at 12:15, and then, get off at 5. But then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do the 5 a.m. at, I call it the big gym, the CrossFit 806 gym, and not the bank. And Wednesdays, I actually coach at the big gym at 5:30 in the morning. So sometimes I'll do the 6 a.m. afterwards, or I get off a little early on Wednesdays, so I'll do the 4:30 class sometimes. Like I said, I'm all over the place. Like it's just kind of where I can get it in, but I typically stick to my Tuesdays and Thursday 5 a.m. That's like my start to the day. If I don't have that, I think I'd go crazy and it'd throw off my routine. But yeah,
Man,
that's it.
kind of a fun routine you have there.
It's kind of crazy. That's just like a little bit of my day. That's like a little snippet. There's so much more chaos and especially like if I cover a bank CrossFit class at lunch, like I'll go to work, or most of the time I'll work out, go to work, um, coach the noon class, go back to work. And then typically on the day that I do that, so Thursdays, I also have a class called A&B Fit at the bank at
Mm.
5:30 p.m. So Thursdays are my crazy days.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, it's wild. And then on top of that, being a wife and a mom, coming home, cooking supper, making sure my little one's in the bath in bed when he should. Like it's kind of crazy, but I think I thrive in the chaos. So
Kind of have to, right, in this CrossFit world, right? Just to get a workout in
that's
and work and
right.
do all the normal life stuff, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. You're a brave soul for doing those 5 a.m., 6 a.m. crew people are a different crew of people. Like for
Yeah.
me, early is 9 a.m. in the summer. That's early for me. And I'm like, man, like I wake up at 6 in the morning for work, but waking up at 6 or 5:30 in the morning to go work out, like that's they're at the something like, no, there's not enough money for you to pay me to go do that stuff. So you're a brave one for actually doing that. So and you kind of talked about that a little bit. So just like you said, it's you kind of thrive in the chaos, so to speak, is what you in your words, I guess, so to speak. So
Yeah.
like just managing your energy, right? Just like big thing. Because you also like you started at Empower and you just started working at XFit. So just over time, like how long did it take you to get your L1 and all this different stuff?
Ooh, okay. So, I mean, obviously there was some big breaks in there. Like I had my son, I was doing XFit, and then I had my son a few years later. And so, really what kind of spurred me on to see Sarah was I had after I had Bex, I had like a hip and tailbone issue that I just could not figure out. Like it was hard to even walk. Um, and so that got me there. And so she got me back into CrossFit, and I stayed pretty consistent with it for a while. And then, of course, I'd kind of fall off, like I I fell off for a little bit. It just you kind of comes in waves where I kind of enjoyed, doing my own thing, lifting weights on my own, and then where I'd come back and crave that class atmosphere. But I would say, gosh, August of last year, August of 2024, I had another flare up, my hip, my tailbone, and it like I could not get rid of it. And so I remember like going to see I saw Sarah several times to help me out with this. And after seeing her, I remember her saying something that really stood out in my mind. And I'm probably not going to quote it correctly, but it was something along the lines of, if you're not in horrible pain doing a certain movement, you're okay to do it. Like so many people feel like a twinge or,
Yeah.
something that aggravates them that's not 100% comfortable, and they stop all movement, and then that's when they get weak. And that just like, it was a light bulb moment for me. And so I had this thought, what if I kept it CrossFit? Like, what if even through this pain, if I can continue to do the movement and modify the movements that I can't do, like, let's just see what happened.
Yeah.
So I started CrossFit back up. Sure enough, that theory was spot on. Sarah is a genius. Strengthening those areas, like, I've not had a problem since.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm like tried and true CrossFit. Like, it die hard. So that led me to deciding to get my L1. And originally, I was just doing it because I wanted to learn more about CrossFit and really like dive into the movements, to the foundations, just kind of everything, just about the world of CrossFit. And so That's what drove me to get my L1. And then I remember talking to a few of the people at CrossFit 806 and just kind of mentioning that I was interested in coaching. And I kind of just got thrown into it. Like it's crazy how it all happened, but I'm so thankful for it. It's a blast. So,
Yeah. A lot of people, that's a great story. So a lot of things we could talk on just there, but well, that's a great thing because I say that because oh my gosh, tongue tied. So my brother works at Empower right now. My brother Brandon, he's a PT there.
uh-huh.
So I shout out to Evan too. Evan Jones, he's the owner of Empower. So he's been on my podcast before.
Mhm.
So shout out to him too. So like I literally they have a lot of great people over there too. So and I know a lot of people too, like who are curious. They probably get into the sport and they fall in love with the sport of CrossFit,
Mhm.
right? I guess the methodology, I guess is what it sounds like from you. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
Yeah.
so people fall in love with CrossFit, right? And they go and they want to just what's this L1 thing about? And they get into it, and then they like, oh yeah, I'm certified, but some I've heard people like they want to be a coach, they get their L1, but some are just curious, they want to learn more,
Right.
so they get their one. So that's a cool and cool. So that's pretty cool, I guess,
Thank
hand in
you.
hand thing where you can get a certification in that area, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
go ahead. I'm sorry, I feel like I interrupt you.
no, not at all. I was just gonna say it's been a blast. I guess another thing you mentioned something getting your L1, like you go to that class and it's kind of crazy because you don't know how in depth CrossFit is until you take your L1 or
Yeah,
until you've kind of been absorbed in that world for a little bit. But I mean, basically, like if you can squat down to the toilet and stand back
yeah,
up, you do CrossFit, and
for
that
sure.
is like I love that. So it's just
Yeah,
there's so many people that say, "Oh, I can never do CrossFit. It's crazy. Like you guys do crazy stuff." Nope, everyone. It's truly for everybody.
most
So
definitely. I say that that's one big thing too. Try to preach. It's like, dude, if you like, everything's scalable. You can, uh, little kid can do the same thing as an 80-year-old person almost. It's like, is everything scalable? It's like, hey, come in, we'll tell you what to do. Just hey,
mhm.
don't worry about it. You don't have to be super fit. You don't have to be Rich Froning or Matt Fraser to come into the gym. It's you can be a stooge like myself or someone like you to come in and like someone actually who competes. You have everybody in the CrossFit gym, which I love about that sport.
Yeah.
So for you, kind of like talking about like athletes, being an athlete and working at A and B, we kind of sifted off a little bit. I'm sorry. So do you ever like for your coworker at A and B, like the bank, do you ever like do your coworkers know that you're such a beast? Do you like flex on them like, hey, I can bench 225 and run a sub 5 minute mile. Do you ever do that to them?
I think I see like they know that I do it. It's so funny. A bunch of women on the floor, they'll see me grab my gym bag and they know like I'm either going to work out or I'm going to coach. So it's and they'll always say every time I'm leaving, they're like, "Are you going to coach? Are you going to work out? What are you doing?" Or like there's so okay, for example, a few Mondays ago, I went to a bank CrossFit class and I PR'd my deadlift. And so of course I came back and was like, I just deadlifted 300 pounds. That's been a goal for months.
Heck yeah, dude.
Thanks.
That's
That was
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Um, but yeah, they see like all my posts and stuff, and of course, yeah, my boss is like absorbed in the CrossFit world, so yeah, lots of encouragement, and yeah, it's I think they think I'm crazy though.
Yeah, I bet people like outside looking in. If you're not in the CrossFit space, and you stumble upon this podcast somehow, like
Mhm.
you're probably thinking like, what is this all this jumble that these people are talking about? Like, so like it's so cool once you hit that PR, especially for a deadlift. You're like,
Mhm.
especially 300-pound deadlift, dude. Like that's pretty crazy. Like
Thanks.
the fact that you hit that. I mean, like people are like, oh, that's so crazy. I remember like when I first time I hit 300 on deadlift, I'm like, that just happened. Like it was just
Yeah,
one of those things too. Like I don't want to work out. My workout's done for the day, guys. I'll see y'all later. That's one of those things. Like I'm done.
yeah, that's exactly how I felt. We had a whole Metcon of I think it was some kind of burpee variation, burpee to a 6 inch target. It was some crazy workout after that. And I
Jeez.
definitely scaled So I scaled it because I my legs were done.
Yeah, I love deadlifts, but at the same time, it's like afterwards, hopefully there's not a leg workout that follows it because there's no way I'm doing it, you know. I'm gonna be dead when at second one I'm dying.
Yeah. Yep, I get it.
So like I guess kind of talk about burpees and deadlifting, whatever, a little bit. Is it harder to do a burpee or dealing with like A and B customers sometimes? Like
Oh
come
my.
in last minute, like that come in last minute, you know, like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, survey closed in like 2 seconds. Glad you come in so late.
Honestly, ooh, doing a burpee is probably worse. I think I kind of like the customer relation side of the bank, especially because I don't know. I mean, I get several phone calls of people upset on a daily basis, and it's, they're not upset with you. They're just upset with something that's going on, and 9 times out of 10, it can be fixed. So
Mhm.
customers all day long, burpees suck, but we
Yeah,
love them. Love to hate them, right?
yeah, I think that's one thing and everybody in CrossFit agrees on is like burpees suck no matter what. And like, I don't know, that's one of the things you love to hate. Like it's just like we said, like everybody's on the same page when it comes to burpees, I think.
Yeah, because they're so good for you, and they work
Yeah,
your full body. But yeah, they
yeah.
suck. Have you ever done 100 burpees in a row?
Jeez, yeah. I remember when
Yeah.
I first started CrossFit, my first gym I was at, people were like the coach, one of the coaches, they're a set of brothers, and they were like, yeah, like, and you're like they're telling me and a couple other people like, yeah, in our off time we like to do 100 burpees for time, just in our off days. I'm like, granted, this was like 2016, 17. I'm like, you do 100 burpees for fun, like in your free time? Like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. And that idea still hasn't shifted. It's 2025, and I'm like, I hate burpees. Doing 100 burpees. I mean, they're good. Like I said, they're good for you. I mean, just I think I don't know. I see burpees. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm
I get
coming dead last.
I totally get it. They're rough.
Yeah. But for you, like you said, you coach, you like you're an athlete. Like you said, you go to classes, your 5 a.m., 6 a.m. classes and anything like that. But do you ever feel like your mindset is like what's your mindset like as far as like going into like your coaching, your being like just in a class or whatever? Like or is there like what's your mindset like? I guess what I'm trying to ask or get at.
Yeah, I got you. So going into a class, going to coach, like I think I want to pour into them as much as possible.
Mhm.
Um, or like especially my Thursday 5:30 p.m. class, like it's the end of the day, you never know what's gone on in somebody's day. And so I feel like the classes later in the day, like I really just want to pour into them and make them smile in their workouts, and make them feel like they left and did something for themselves. With that, like just making, I don't know, I guess just making them feel
Yeah.
good. And there's so many times too where like I'll go in and my cup is empty and I'm like, how am I supposed to go coach people and pour into them when my cup is empty? But then I go into a class and like 9 times out of 10, that fills up my cup. Like just coaching others, seeing them succeed or, PR or learn a new movement, like that has been amazing. Like it's truly so fulfilling.
That's really cool. I mean, it's just like I said, I don't have my L1 yet, but that's a bucket list thing I want to do. But just being on the other side of I guess the coin, so to speak, of just having the right coaching in your class at the right time. It's like,
Mhm.
man, it's really cool because like that one coach can really make a difference. Just like it's like that, you know, like you said, you're just as an athlete, like, you know, coming home from work and you're like, man, I'm tired. I want to go to bed right now, kind of thing. And like, you know, I'm kind of done for the day, but you force yourself to go work out. Sometimes it feels like, and then that coach is like, hey, what's going on? Just having that positive attitude, that right mindset, right? Just to go into a workout and like, hey, we're gonna do this, blah 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 blah. Are you ready? Like, just kind of like pumping you up a little bit. And you're like, oh, after the workout, you're like, oh man, you just kind of forget like everything that happened that day, or whatever. It's like, oh man, like just that one right coach can make the difference. That's makes sense at all.
Yeah, it makes ton of sense. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. So. Do you have like a go-to song? Like if you're in and if you're in the car driving, do you have like a go-to song to like prep you up for like coaching or as an or on the other side, like the workout?
Oh man, I'm all over the place with my music. It kind of just depends what mood I'm in. Um, Something upbeat. I like rap. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it just depends on what mood I'm in. I love music though, so
Me too.
like there's been times driving to a 5 a.m. I have a long commute too, or like a long commute to the gym. It's about 23 minutes
Oh,
that early
okay.
in the morning. So plenty of time to like drive and listen to music, but um I try to listen to something that'll get me pumped up, like get me in the right mindset. No slow music.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I'm the same way too.
Lately I've been really into Jessie Murph. I don't know. Do you
Yes,
know
you
who
are.
Yeah, I've her music has been like hitting the spot. But no, typically I'm like hip hop, rap. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't have a like one specific song that's like my motivator. I don't yeah. Yeah, I like everything.
yeah. I'm the same way too. Do you have like a dream training partner, like that you always wanted to work with? Like if they walked in through the doors at 8:06, like, hey, Cameron, I want to work out with you. Like
Maybe
who,
anybody.
anybody, like the CrossFit Games level, anybody.
You know what I'm gonna say?
I think I have an idea who you're gonna say, but you can go ahead and say it
Danielle Brandon all
for
day.
sure. Yeah. Why Danielle? Like why? What about her do you love?
I love her vibe. Like she is so authentically herself
Yeah.
and isn't afraid to like she just I don't know. Her style, everything about her is just like I think she's so cool and I want to be her friend.
Yeah, I felt the same way too. Like it's like weird. Like I follow her on Instagram. I'm like, it's like having it's like seeing another friend like from the gym. It's like, oh yeah, like I don't. It's like God, I'm the only one who thought that too. I'm like, oh yeah, that's so and so. Like Danielle Brandon like did pretty cool today. She posted this workout. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's also like, sorry, I don't know if I said this on air or not already, but that shirt you're wearing is she's also sponsored by like Daniel Brandon, not Cameron yet. Cameron will one day be sponsored by them, but Daniel Brandon is sponsored by Rad. So I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, dude, she's like, she was already cool to begin with, but she's already 10 times cooler now. Like, this is so cool.
I did it on purpose. I had to wear it.
Yeah, I was like, because I have you and another friend of mine from another CrossFit Amarillo who, like, when the Rad One V2s first came out, like, very first came out, like that maybe that week. I saw that, like, maybe I don't know if it was that first week. I was like, I want these, but I'm like, I don't know. I waited a little bit, and I saw my friend wear them, Ashley Richardson. If she ever watches this podcast, um, she was like one of the first ones I asked first. And then not that soon after, I saw you wearing them. Like, okay, those look pretty sick. How are they? So literally, I was like messaging both of you. I'm like, how are they? I'm like, you're like, they're super comfortable. I'm like, okay, I need to bite the bullet. Finally, just order me a spare. Well, I'm wearing them right now, but they're so comfortable. Like they're like almost my everyday shoe now,
Yeah, they're the best. I
for
got
sure.
some runners and those by far are probably my favorite running shoes I've ever ran in. Got
Oh, really?
I think they're Rad R1 runners. Yeah, they're great. So
Okay.
10
I
out
have
of
to take
10.
it. I'm not a runner, obviously, but I have to maybe take into those to see how they look.
Hey, for burpees. They're good
For
burpee
burpees.
shoes.
We'll see. We'll see about that. I don't know about burpees. I don't plan on doing a whole lot of burpees soon, but but yeah. So oh gosh, sorry, a little bit. I love Rad, so I if you can't tell, I'm between Rad and Nike Metcons are my two shoes, but I'm literally all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm a shoe hoarder. I for the last 5 6 years of doing CrossFit,
Yeah.
but a little bit. So kind of shift. Like I said, we're gonna shift gears a little bit. Earlier, we are kind of talking about something that's maybe you may know, love, seen a little bit, may know more a little bit about. If that made sense.
Yeah.
Um, so we were off air. We were talking about like the common misconception of how like women feel their bodies.
Hmm.
So we are kind of talking about that. So was that something like? What about that? Do you think is so important nowadays within CrossFit?
Whew.
Big
Oh my
question. I'm sorry.
no, it's such a like I love this question though because there are so many women that I talk to. They're like, I've got to eat less than 1,500 calories a day if I want to lose weight. Like nutrition is just there's such a misconception there, especially somebody doing CrossFit. Like I know because I've been there. There was a point where I was not trusting the process. I think I was eating 2,000 calories a day, doing CrossFit, and like my clothes were starting to not fit, and I at that point didn't like that, and so I dialed back my calories. Well, then, you go into the workout and you feel like crap.
Mhm.
And so finally, when I decided to, trust the process, kind of up my calories, stick to a certain um, amount of calories a day, and really trying to hit that target, I, my in-body scan numbers, my muscle mass went up. Like everything, my body fat went down. It just, it's crazy how if you're fueling your body properly, um, you can see insane results. But um, I mentioned how I try to eat 2,400 calories a day right now, and I try really hard to make that whole foods. Um, but I'm a sucker for a good protein bar, so gotta throw a protein bar in there where I can. But there's so many women that under fuel their bodies, and like even for your hormones, you've got to take care of your body. You've got to eat. Of course, you can't go out and eat like junk food or anything like that. You've got to be mindful and everything in moderation. But it's crazy. I wish I could get that through everybody's head. Like, and I mean, even for men too, like you've got to fuel your body no matter what, even if you're doing CrossFit or not. So,
Yeah, for sure. I think
yeah.
that's a big thing too. So I agree 100% like with that. I think, because I've just recently, like I said, I've been doing CrossFit for a few years and just realizing, like you said, trusting the process is a big thing too. Like
Mhm.
counting your macros or doing XYZ, it's like it's a big thing. And I don't want to take away from what you said either, because like that's a big thing. I something I really didn't think about a whole lot, didn't obviously, but for you, like I one question came up as you were talking about that, so I apologize. I don't interrupt you. So because everything you said was sounded really awesome. So like just like you said, how can I word this? Like feeling like you're how do you I guess me outsider looking in, how does it like I cannot speak for the life of me. I have a podcast, I can't speak, dude. Um Ironically, right? So how do you like properly like support, I guess. Sorry, I have notes in front of me. I'm trying to make sure like I doesn't like overstep my questions here. So like I
Oh,
guess how do you like properly feel? I guess hold on.
mhm.
Get this question out, Carter. Get it out. Like reword it. So I guess I wanted to ask, like I guess you said you talked about hormones earlier. I guess with
Yeah.
women. So like how do you properly guys feel yourself, I guess, and not affect your hormones, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you're under eating, like your body's gonna suffer no matter what. So, hmm. Well, okay. And two, I want to say, like, yes, I track my macros. I'm not like super strict about it. I have since kind of gotten a little more strict. I my main thing though is really just hitting my protein goal. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's such a big thing. Like if you're, the average person, if you're getting 100 grams of protein a day, like you're doing great. And I think you're gonna like feel better overall, just doing that, just watching protein. But personally, there was a point when I was kind of early on in CrossFit. I was just feeling so fatigued in my workouts, could not figure it out, thought I was doing everything right, kind of took a step back and like
Mm-hmm.
looked at how I was eating, and that was before I knew a lot about nutrition. Um, and I was severely under eating, so of course I'm not gonna go into the Metcon and feel my best. Like I'm not feeling myself properly, but I don't want to overcomplicate it. Like yes, I track, but I don't think everybody needs to. I think as long as like you're prioritizing whole foods and protein, I think you're on the right track. Like everybody's got to start with just one little thing, especially with nutrition, because it's like you can dive deep into nutrition.
For sure. One
And
small step right can do a lot of good, I think, if you just take that right step, the one right step forward, if that makes sense.
find what works for you. I mean,
For sure.
not every one person is the same, so
Most definitely. That's the big thing too. Like not everybody's cookie cutter too. So it's finding what fits you perfectly, if that makes sense.
yeah, for sure.
So I guess a little bit of I guess a couple of questions, I guess, for advice for people out there who are just female athletes, or maybe you're just female CrossFitters who are new to the sport, who may not, I guess, are seeking more answers. Like
Mhm.
if there's ever like I guess a woman out there who, or I guess a girl who's scared out there, to eat more because they feel like I guess they don't want to get too bulky, what would you say to them?
Yeah, so many women say that. Oh my goodness. I just honestly, I would say, I guess kind of what I said earlier, just look at what you eat in a day, prioritize whole foods, kind of try and cut out processed foods, stay on the edges of the grocery store. Everything in the middle it tends to be more processed foods. Um, but really just one step at a time, like just changing one little thing at a time. Like if you're a coffee drinker in the morning and you're adding a ton of creamer to your coffee, like just maybe look at cutting that out. As far as getting bulky, like you're gonna have to eat a ton to get bulky in CrossFit. Like you just are. You're really gonna have to up your calories. Like if you go look at um, what a CrossFit Games athlete eats in a day,
Oh
it's
yeah,
pretty insane. Like
it
it's
is.
crazy.
It's crazy.
And just how much they train in a day, like yeah, they have to eat that much so they can
Yeah,
refuel their body. But no, I mean you're not gonna get bulky. Like I think that's the number one thing I hear from girls, and I was there too. Like I was that person, and I was like, if I do CrossFit, I'm gonna get bulky, and that is so not true. Like you have to eat so much to get
for sure.
bulky. So
Yeah,
that was
just
kind of like a long answer, but
there you go. That's a perfect answer. So, just hearing that, like you said, that like I think I've heard that from both sides too. If that makes sense. Like I don't want to get too, I don't like just getting too big or bulky, like bulking up. It's like, dude, like everybody bodies almost react differently. It just takes faster or slower for some people. It's like, no, like you're not gonna get like ripped, or I mean, you may get ripped, but you're not gonna get like the bulky, like big dude, like me. Like obviously, like I'm not a big dude, like muscular. Like, I'm a big dude. Don't get me wrong, but like you're not gonna get like overweight or anything like that, dude. Just like everybody, like I said earlier, like everybody's different. You're gonna be different no matter what. So in a good way, for
and I think it's so normal too. Like when you start CrossFit, that's such a high intensity workout
sure.
that yeah, of course you're gonna be starving. And I think that's just your body's way of telling you you probably do need to eat more. I
Um,
just think, you know, as long as you're not going overboard, like you'll be fine. It's yeah.
yeah. So for you, speaking about like competing or competitive stuff earlier, take it back a little bit. You competed like in a couple of CrossFit events, not that long ago,
Oh,
for
two
a little
weekends,
bit. Do what?
2 weekends in a row. That was
2 weekends
crazy.
ago, yeah, yeah. So you competed at the Monkey Wrench Games.
Uh,
So that was that the first one or the second one?
that was the first one.
What was that
And
like?
oh my gosh. Whew, hard. That
Was that
was
your
my
first?
that was my first individual competition ever.
Oh wow,
And that was very humbling because like, you're at your regular gym. You, you think like, okay, like I'm PRing, I'm doing good. And then you go to a different gym and these athletes are like
yeah,
athletes. Like
yeah.
they can do crazy stuff. So, in all honesty, I kind of left defeated and but also that's the beauty in it. Like you gotta have those, not that it was necessarily a failure, but like you've got to have those moments that humble you and, make you want to dig deep and learn more and go harder. And that's really like the beauty in CrossFit is there's always somewhere you can progress. Like there's always a goal in mind. There's always something. So, yeah, monkey wrench was hard.
Oh,
I'm not
really?
gonna do the final. I that final will make or break you, and it broke me. There was gymnastics, and my hands were already like I don't know if you can see that,
Oh,
but
wow.
and this was
Yeah.
good. They were bad. They were
Did
already
you?
ripped to shreds, and then the final there was like 60 pull-ups,
Jeez.
and my hands I could just feel the blisters popping, like blood. Yeah, so I cried. I cried through the final. I got through it though.
Hey, you got through it. Did you go RX or intermediate?
I did intermediate, so they didn't end up doing RX.
Oh,
And so
okay.
there was only 6 girls in intermediate, so I guess that was kind of like a mixture of RX and intermediate. But yeah.
Yeah. So you literally had like if they're doing RX, you literally were probably like going up against those RX, some of those RX females probably. So
Yeah, for sure.
might as well be RX at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean at that point there was an RX and they had the scaled women and then all of us in intermediate. So yeah, I mean it might as well have been RX.
Was there one workout like you actually liked from that event? Like you like, oh yeah, this is what my wheelhouse or like I
Okay.
really love this.
And it's so funny. So, oh, snatches.
Oh,
I
the
it's
first
my
event.
yeah, the first event. It's typically my worst movement. I've struggled with it for so long. I've kind of grown to love it just because it's like it pushes me outside of my comfort zone. I like it's so frustrating, but it's like I don't know, I love it. I love trying to progress that movement. But yeah, so the first event, oh gosh, I think it was 30 snatches at 55 pounds. So not bad. But I mean, yeah, not
Yeah.
bad. Into 20 snatches, I want to say at 75 pounds. No, wait. Maybe it was 65
Oh,
pounds.
okay.
And then into 10 snatches, or actually it was max effort snatches at 85 pounds. And then I think that was maybe like a 7 minute metcon, and then you have 5 minutes to establish a 1 rep max. That
Jeez.
was my favorite workout
Yeah.
because that was the easiest. Honestly, like all of them were so hard.
Yeah.
Then you had 5 minutes to rest and you go straight outside to a straight endurance workout. So yeah, 2 events Friday night, like back to back. It was pretty wild.
See, I almost signed up for it because like, there was people at my gym like Carter sign up for it. Carter, I'm like, we'll see. And I waited to the last minute, procrastinated like per usual. So I didn't sign up for it. And I'm like, oh, I saw the first like because they would kind of the gym CrossFit Wild West, I believe it was.
Yeah.
They would
Uh-huh.
release some of the workouts ahead of time, not all of them, but some of them. So I saw this. I think it was the snatches one. I'm not sure if they released that one or not. I'm like, oh, that one looks not too bad. Like it's snatching.
Hmm.
What's I'm not an endurance cardio guy, but like I'm like that one I could probably do good. And if I did the scaled for like scaled or something, you know. And then I'm like, and then I was watching the Instagram live they did, I think the day before, the day of, I can't remember. I guess they're kind of guys taking you all through the standards of everything.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay, you're gonna go straight into snatches right into this. I'm like, dude, like that would have killed me right there. Like, forget it. I'm dropping out of this event right there. That
Yeah.
event, the second event, the second Friday night event you had, and the one with the 200-meter run with the sandbag carry.
Oh,
That one looked horrible.
it
Like
was
out
the
of all of
worst.
them, like that one looked the worst. I think out of all of them.
It was so bad. I think I finished with like 3 seconds left. Like I almost got time capped. It was a 22 minute, what was it? 22 minute time cap? Yeah, it was.
It was like burpees again. I think it was like burpees, wasn't it? And like doubles, like sandbag doubles press and like a 200-meter run. It was
Yeah,
like it was like it was like four different move, 3 4 different movements. It was horrible. It looked
Yeah,
horrible.
it was rough. And you're doing it down in the dirt. Like it was super hot already. Luckily, I got it out of the way. I think I went at like 10 in the morning, but it was already super hot, super windy.
Jeez.
So that one was rough, but we survived.
You survived. But
Here's, oh,
yeah. Like, and then you went to is it your second competition, was it, you said they did it like right after that? Like you the weekend after?
so it was the High Rocks Prep Series that CrossFit
That's
806 put
right,
on.
yeah.
That was the weekend after. That one was way nicer. Let's put it that way. It was still really hard. I think I burned like 1,000 calories
Jeez.
just in that. It took us an hour and 15 minutes, and yeah, that was fun. I like endurance. I did track in high school. Like that's my thing. I
Nice.
can run. Yeah, so that was good.
That's pretty cool. At least I know some people from my gym who did that, and I'm like, I didn't go. I'm like, oh yeah, it was super cool. So I didn't go to. I was going to that. I planned on going to that one, but something came up last minute, so I couldn't go. So I was like watching like social media and like people posting about it. I'm like, dude, that looks so much fun. Like the fact
Yeah.
that people like they all created like a high rocks like event. I'm like, that's so cool. Like that y'all did that.
It was really cool. It was fun.
Yeah, for sure. So that looked cool. Hopefully they do it again. So I would definitely go. But
Yeah.
so for you, like you said, sorry, oh my gosh, I meant to silence that. So earlier you said you mentioned you have a son, and that's something we talked about off air, right? So if it's something you want to talk about, we don't. I could edit all this out and go straight to the end. So you talked about as a gosh, miles, I guess having your kid, right? Having your son, becoming a mom, and doing CrossFit, right? So is there anything like milestone wise or specific movements you've done like surprised you like after becoming a mom or big ones?
And honestly, oh, okay. So that's, yeah. So this is another thing I kind of fell into when I was younger too. It's like, you think when you become a mom, like your life's over. Like that's, I feel like what people tend to think, or like, my body will never be the same, or, whatever. I definitely fell into all of that, and I think I proved myself wrong as a whole. Like yeah, my body will never be the same prior to having a baby, but it's better.
Yeah.
Like just having the tools, I feel like really becoming a mom is what kind of spurred me on to learn more about nutrition, to learn, to get into CrossFit, to have that push. Um, so yeah, I, your body's not the same after you have a kid, but it can be better. Like I think that's what all women should know. Um, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really cool thing to see. I hear that too, because like I said, I like just hearing that is like pretty amazing. Just like putting your body through something, and then obviously working out is like pretty amazing, obviously. So it's pretty cool to hear that. I mean, do you think like your son sees you differently now that you like are able to do CrossFit and see these really cool things? Like, oh, my mom deadlifts 300 pounds. Like that's pretty cool. Like she coaches and does all those amazing things. Do you think do you think he realizes that at all or no?
Oh yeah, he loves it. I mean, I don't think he just likes the fact that like I've taken him with me to coach before. Um, some of the people I coach know him as Coach Bex. So he's
That's pretty cool.
so cool. Or like he's come to some of the 9 a.m. classes where they have kids care,
Oh yeah.
and he's seen it. He'll like stretch with us in the beginning, or stretch out with us, and yeah, he thinks it's so cool. He'll like anytime I walk in the door, if I don't pick him up from school and I come home, he's like, "Mama, did you do CrossFit? Did you coach? I got to get my CrossFit shoes on so I can come with
Gotta
you."
keep the
Like
confidence.
he loves it. He thinks it's so cool. So that's
That's
a
awesome.
big thing for me. I grew up watching my parents work out, and they always included me in their workouts. And I think that's why it's so instilled in me to this day to have that drive. And so it's really big for me to, instill that in him too. So
That's awesome. The fact that like I could see like just the fact that like working he's like stretching out with y'all and like I gotta get my CrossFit shoes on. That's pretty cool. Like the fact that he's in it like at that age, because like I'm always a big proponent of like start him young. I guess like watch him, and then the fact that like you're able, like you said, give birth, do all those amazing things, and then he's able to like people know him as coach backs and all this different stuff. It's like the fact that he's doing that. Hopefully, he's like, I gotta get my CrossFit shoes on. Like that's really
Yeah,
awesome. The fact that he knows it at that age, like
yeah.
we gotta go. He's already on a regimen. Like I gotta get my CrossFit shoes on. I got to class.
Oh
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
PVC pipe outside we mess with all the time. I've shown him some movements.
That's cool. Yeah, it's PVC pipe or a broomstick or something. Get him like, hey, this deadlift is what I did. Not to 300 pounds. I did that.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you could ever like, just a couple more questions. I don't want to keep you too late. I'm so sorry, but
Oh, no,
just
you're
a
good.
couple more questions. If you go back like in time, right, and talk to yourself after giving birth, like what would you say?
Oh my goodness. Talk to myself after I've given birth.
Like you're a CrossFit coach, you're an athlete, like you competed in a higher rocks event, you went to CrossFit, the Monkey Wrench Games and did a lot of amazing things. You hit new PRs and like you're like, hey, this is on the horizon. Would you believe yourself or no?
Oh gosh. Yes, I would. Yeah, like if before I got pregnant or while I was pregnant, if I would have known that, yeah, I would have believed it because I don't know, like I said, like it's always been so instilled in me. Um, Actually, when I started college at WT, that was sports exercise science was my major. So I always knew I wanted to do something in the realm of like, I didn't know if I wanted to do personal training or what, but I've always been so interested in it. So even being pregnant, like it was such a priority for me to work out, even through that first trimester, which is brutal. You don't feel like doing anything, but it just you have to push through. And then I kept thinking, like if I work out my entire pregnancy, lift weights, whatever, it will hopefully make labor easier.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
don't know if it did or it didn't. I'm sure it did. I have a lot of endurance to push 4 hours, but yeah, no, I would have believed it. Like I think I've always had that drive. So
It's awesome.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to hear that, and like to believe in yourself that way. That's pretty cool to have that mindset and that mentality. That's pretty awesome. So, well, I guess a couple more questions, two more questions, to quick, and we'll head out. I guess, um, do you know what's next on do you know what's next on your fitness journey? Like, do you have anything like big goals? Like you thought like, okay, I didn't think this was possible, but it's coming pretty. Like, there's a possible chance that it's coming on the horizon for me, and I want to chase it down. You
Oh,
competed, like you're like, okay, next I'm going to compete with Daniel Brandon. We're going to win. We're going to go to the
let's
CrossFit Games. That's something like do you dream big like that or no?
Oh, I'm a big dreamer for sure. Gosh, that has totally crossed my mind. But also, like, I know how much work and time that I'd have to dedicate towards something like that. Um, so, gosh, I think just like we have the 806 Classic coming up.
Nice.
I am super excited to do that. I think just doing like more competitions, seeing where I improve from the year prior, like totally down to do monkey wrench games next year, which after I finished, I thought there was no way that I'd ever do it again. But now after the fact, like I really want to go back and see how I've progressed certain movements. So that's a really big goal. Gosh, I eventually would like to get my L2. Like I really, really want to
Wow.
dive deep into coaching. Um, I mean, it's always been a passion of mine to coach in some area. I didn't ever know that it would be CrossFit, but here I am and I love it. So that's definitely a goal. Once I have some more CrossFit classes under my belt and get a little bit more comfortable coaching the barbell, which is still a little bit intimidating to me. But yeah,
You'll
those are
be.
some of my goals.
That's awesome. You're a big dreamer, so it sounds like you got a lot of great things that are on the horizon. It sounds like you're gonna do a lot of great things. I believe in you, so that's pretty cool.
Well,
So last question before you head out of here. If you could if you go back and rewrite the rule book, so to speak, and like take out a movement or add a movement, maybe take out burpees, add more running, add this, take out metcons, or add your own version of a workout, what would it be?
That is such a hard question.
Put you on the spot. I'm sorry. I asked our hard hitting questions. If you can't tell, Cameron,
No, that's a hard hitting question. I love it though. It's a really good question.
I'm
Um,
just kidding, but but the hard
uh,
hitting question part.
honestly though, like I don't think I would take out anything because all of those hard movements are making you better.
For sure.
Like so
Uh,
double unders, for example, I don't like double unders either, but I'm really big on if there's something I don't like, there's a reason I don't like it. It's probably because I'm not good at it, and so I really need to work that area and get better at it.
hmm,
Like Echo Bike, I used to despise that thing. Now it's one of my favorites. Like if there's an Echo Bike and a GHD machine in the workout, I am there. Um, yeah, no, I don't think I would change anything because even those hard movements like burpees, like they're ultimately making you better. And that, yeah, I wouldn't change anything.
awesome. Sounds like you love it. Sounds like CrossFit is your thing. Like, it has a little bit of everything for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like after becoming a mom, I kind of personally struggled with finding my thing and like finding, figuring out who I am as a mom and what that looks like. And that's kind of where CrossFit came in. That's my thing. It's my
Yeah,
passion. So,
that's pretty cool. It's at the point now where it's like it's just your passion. It becomes your passion, your lifestyle. I guess in a way, it's like can't go a day without it. Sometimes, you know.
yeah, rest days, rest
Yeah,
days are days.
I did that this morning. I woke up at 9 or 9. I was gonna go to the 9 a.m. class. I was like, man, I don't want to. I want to go, but it's like, so I think I was gonna be arrested today. I was like, I want to go. At the same time, I was like, I went to the morning. I'm like, I just went through my morning, drank coffee. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the 12 p.m. class. Forget it. I'm gonna go. Like, I can't do it. I can't sit here. I gotta go work out. So that's one of those
That,
things. Like those rest
yeah,
days, I hate them. In a
I
way,
know.
it's like,
That was me Friday. I was like, I'm not working out. I'm taking a rest day. 5 o'clock rolls around and I'm sitting in my car in the parking lot and I'm like, I'm about to drive to the gym, aren't I? Like, I'm doing it. I'm gonna go work
yeah,
out. That was one of my best workouts that I've had in a while. So, it was, it was good.
yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I even told one of the coaches after the class today. I was texting, for real. I was telling this coach, I was like, "You know, my brother and I were texting last night about the workouts for this week. You know that we have planned. I'm like, all these workouts look fun. Like I told the coach, I'm like, I mean, I miss a week. That's every day this week. I'm like, and they're like, kind of looked at me like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I walked off. I'm like, dang it. Now they're going to hold me accountable to come to every class. I'm like, here we go. Okay, let's bring it on. I brought it to myself, but here we go. No rest days.
But that's the other thing that's so amazing about CrossFit too is like you, there's such a great community.
For sure.
And like
Community
honestly,
awesome.
to anyone that thinks they want to try CrossFit, but they're scared or intimidated, the hardest part is getting there. Once you're there, you're gonna meet somebody that's gonna hold you accountable, and eventually you're gonna want to go back, like to work out with that person. And then I feel like it gets to a point where, yeah, just the community is the
Yeah,
best. You're Everyone's cheering you on. Yeah, there's healthy competition, but for the most part, like it's all one big family, I feel like.
it
So.
is. I love that you bring that up because community is a huge thing. I love community of CrossFit, yeah, CrossFit community because it's like you said, they're cheering for you in your highest of highs when you PR something, and you're like, or when you're struggling in the middle of a workout, you're low, and you're like, when you're feeling low, you're like, it's your community cheering you on. And you're like, okay, let's get this. Come on, let's go. It's like, but I don't know. I love it. I can go on and on about that, but I don't
Me
know.
too.
I love it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't want to keep bothering. Like, I don't keep you any more longer than I have already. But um, you had a lot of great answers, and I had all my questions and everything done. I'm like, Cameron is literally hitting every little one of these. I love it. So it's perfect.
Well, I've had fun. This has been a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you.
Cool. Even though I got tongue tied or tongue twisted after a while, I'm like, I cannot speak. Come on, Corey. It's been a while since I've done it too, so I'm gonna blame it on that. So
Yeah, there you go. No, it's late too. It's like 9 o'clock. So
I know.
why
That
not?
went way further than I expected to, so I apologize for it
No,
being so
no. No, I had fun. This was great.
cool. So, Camryn, thank you for coming on, dude. It's been a blast, and to everybody listening, thank y'all for listening and tuning in. Camryn, is there anything you'd like to say before you head out?
Ooh. I honestly, you know, if you're thinking about doing CrossFit, like I said earlier, hardest part is just getting there. Drive your car to the gym or, find a buddy to go with you. Just get there because odds are, you're gonna meet someone there, you're gonna have someone to hold you accountable, make you keep coming back. Like just start. Yeah.
Awesome. Great advice. Well, thank you again, Camryn. Yeah, everybody, thank you for tuning in. See you all next time.